This video is sponsored by War Thunder. Hey everybody, my name's Nikos, and welcome back to the channel. And this intro is really OD. Let's talk about Halo. The franchise is turning 24 years old soon. And what that means is that the game is officially hitting UNC status. And what that also means is I feel really old just talking about it. Halo's universe is a rich tapestry of fantastic art direction, as well as very lovable characters and awesome sci-fi military stories tied in with some of the most jaw-dropping and beautiful music you'll ever hear on the internet. Already in 2008, the game had an absolute grip on the online multiplayer scenes, both for casual audiences as well as competitive sweatfests. But something happened around this time that shook up the franchise a little. It offered a very different adventure that had an interesting story all to its own to share, something that we hadn't seen in Halo before. It was eerily silent and lonely. Half of the game is drenched in the darkness of a war-torn metropolis. Alien patrols wander the city streets, searching for survivors. City infrastructure is left in decay. Lights flicker. Sleek, shiny cars litter the streets. The city is completely vacant of human life. Kinda like a liminal space. No, we're not doing that here. It 100% isn't a liminal space, but it is a really cool vibe. This setting is a bit unnerving, albeit cozy and pretty awesome. The downer muses of a piano here and the drones of a jazzy saxophone there echo off the skyscraper glass. Down below, you sneak around alone with nothing but a handful of suppressed weapons and your wits as you search for clues on a battle raged hours before. This is such a wild vibe for a Halo game. It's a total 180 to what we'd become accustomed to from the franchise in earlier years. Halo 2 and 3 revolutionized the online console shooter space and conquered the rapidly growing 2000s gaming industry. Bungie had splintered into two teams because in 2006, a Halo movie began production. Yeah, well before the Halo TV show, way back in 2006, there was talk of a Halo movie. And I remember as a kid, some of my friends and I, when we heard of the news and some of the rumors coming out about this film, we were so giddy. We were absolutely excited to see what they were cooking up. At the release of Halo 3, Bungie had around 120 employees, and a section of that workforce moved to work on the film alongside director Peter Jackson. Yeah, if you haven't heard, It's that Peter Jackson. But they were also there to develop a game that was going to be closely related and potentially tied to the film. This episodic cinematic Halo title was mostly kept under lock and key. The game was codenamed Chronicles, and it would follow a human character that would inevitably make contact with a Forerunner arm of sorts that would ultimately transform them into an alien war machine known as the Promethean. Both these projects, the film and the game, ultimately fizzled out when confidence in them waned from higher-ups and funding dried up in 2008. The result from this failed film was a gritty live-action short series called Landfall to promote Halo 3. It featured a team of elite human soldiers known as ODSTs fighting the Covenant on Earth. The rest of the film's assets as well as central plot went on to develop District 9. While the rest of Bungie was hard at work delivering Halo Reach, the 70-man strong Chronicles team was left with nothing to work on. Many of the developers of the team were industry veterans. Some were with Bungie since Halo 1. This second team had great camaraderie and a good vibe going, but they had absolutely nothing to show for it. According to Joe Staten, they had about a year window to still work on their own Halo experience and get it delivered. Ideas were shot around. The team was certain that they didn't want to tell another Master Chief story. Their intent with this product was something completely new. They also didn't want to focus on the Spartans either. There are tons of different roles filled by both human and alien warriors alike, not to mention tons of fan-favorite characters. So, Bungie had a lot of ideas to choose from. One hypothetical story followed a young Sergeant Johnson.
Oh, I know what the ladies like.
The iconic, quippy, and charismatic Marine that captured the hearts of players and ladies alike.
I know what the aliens like.
Alright, my bad. Aliens, ladies, and players alike. Johnson fought in the very first engagement of the Human Covenant War, all the way up to the very end when the Covenant was ultimately defeated. So the possibilities for his story would have been endless. Then another idea was considered, a Covenant perspective. Halo was no stranger to having Covenant perspectives in-game. Speaking of, Halo 2 had a perspective split between the Green Spaceman as well as the Arbiter who fought alongside the Covenant, but the team considered a story that would be slightly different, one that followed a tactical elite strike force. If you ask me personally, out of these two ideas, I'd pick this one. We need way more Covenant stories. But then the team considered another option. Fighting alongside the Master Chief and his army of useless Marine companions, who for some reason fight way better in the books, is the ODST. The Orbital Drop Shock Trooper. Oh yeah, an elite human soldier that is basically a step below a Spartan, and these guys have drip. Look at them. Just look at this armor design. Holy, they got fancier gear than some of the Spartans. Topping off the ODST is an iconic visored helmet. And these teams were always deployed alongside the Chief in the most elite tactical insertions performed by the UNSC. But the thing that separates them from their Marine counterparts the most is their method of deployment. ODSTs usually drop from orbit in a drop pod of sorts. Looking at it in game, these things, much like the Hell pods from Helldivers, defy the laws of physics. There is no way those little umbrellas could slow the fall of this thing enough not to absolutely crush their occupants. But who cares? They're friggin' awesome. Joe Staten admitted that the team agreed the ODSTs were, in gameplay, just tougher Marines. But the developers found them mysterious and interesting. They knew the fans loved them as well. Bungie's studio heads got together and decided to greenlight the project. This untitled Halo spin-off was given funding, and it already had a massive team ready to put it together. They had 14 months to ship a AAA shooter spin-off. Much of Halo 3 ODST is fought in the pitch black of night, in the absolute darkness. And I don't want my apartment to be like that. I gotta keep the lights on. So that's why I'm excited to announce our sponsor. War Thunder is the most vast vehicle combat game ever of all time, and it's available for free on PC, consoles, and mobile devices. When I played War Thunder, rolling panzers across picturesque European prairies stuck with me. War Thunder is so immersive, this scene is lodged in my memory. Because the game features realistic graphics that can run high frames on even lower powered gaming rigs. Vehicles in War Thunder aren't just boxes with a health bar. Successful hits on target grant an X-ray screen that visualizes the effect your shots had on your enemy. You can customize any of the over 2,500 vehicles that come from 10 major nations. I'm talking biplanes and warships, and also modern tech, including main battle tanks, jet fighters, and helicopters. War Thunder is also now available on iOS and Android, so you can take the game with you anywhere. War Thunder has an unmatched pool of content to discover, which is perfect for military history fans such as myself. Join War Thunder's community of over 70 million players and meet them on the battlefield in realistic, full-scale PvP warfare. Play War Thunder free on PC, Xbox, PlayStation, iOS, and Android today. Sign up using my pinned comment or the links in the description to get yourself a huge free bonus pack on PC and consoles. It includes premium vehicles, 100,000 Silver Lions, 7 days of premium account time, and an exclusive Eagle of Valor vehicle decorator. Perfect for those patriots amongst y'all. Keep in mind, this deal is only available for a limited time for both new players and players who haven't been on War Thunder in 6 months. Thank you, War Thunder, for sponsoring this video. Alright, back to Halo. Immediately, the team was met with a quandary. What would the setting be? It was determined that the Chief was meant for large-scale battles in the field, and that ODSTs would likely be more part of single-day Spec Ops missions, likely in urban environments too. The setting for much of the fighting on Earth seen in Halo 2 is New Mombasa, an African sci-fi megacity that is dominated by oppressive skyscrapers and a space elevator that shoots up through the clouds. For this new game, the players and fans would return to New Mombasa. A reveal trailer was delivered in 2008, hinting players at what was to come. Keep It Clean unveiled this new experimental project, Halo 3 Recon. In 2008, I played and saw everything Halo 3 had to offer 10 times over. During this time, I was pretty bored of waiting for a new game. Halo Wars was, alright, I guess. It didn't have a whole lot of content, no map editors, no community support. Just had some basic multiplayer, so I kind of got bored of that little strategy game. Then I saw this teaser and was completely confused. It looked cool, I guess. I didn't really know what to make of it. I had no idea what this thing was. And I suppose the team felt the same way as they tried to cobble something together out of nothing. The team initially planned on just putting together a 2 to 3 hour mini campaign and then releasing it for less than full price. But the team's cohesion and talent led them to overshooting expectations. After realizing the game would become a full project, they renamed the game to Halo 3 ODST instead, and pieced together a complete full-length campaign with side content. This whole package was wrapped up by May of 2009, which, a little interesting fact for you, the game wouldn't release until September, so they were pretty early on their release schedule. The development behind ODST fascinates me, because they managed to hit such a tight deadline while fleshing out parts of the Halo universe that we don't see often in gameplay. It's not just a game with the perspective of a vulnerable human soldier, but also one that explores the civilian side of war, and is honestly really awesome. There's a reason the fans love this game. Let's get into it.
The Navy put up a good fight.
Of course they did. It's Earth.
Better late than never.
How about you show some respect, Romeo?
Just saying, Dutch. They missed one.
No. They left it for us.
You know the music. Time to dance.
Hello, beautiful.
Pods. Now.
Replacements?
This many years into the war? Who isn't?
At least they listen.
To me. And they're not gonna like what they hear.
Orders are orders.
Come on, Veronica. What could be more important than that carrier?
My orders. And Buck, call me Captain. I'll pass on that dance, but you can show me where to sit.
And what the hell kind of armor was she wearing?
Dunno, Mickey. I wasn't looking at her gear. Seriously?
Well, gotta be close quarters.
Exactly.
Second to last. Right next to mine.
Cozy. You gonna tell us her name, Gunny?
Ms. Naval Intelligence. Our new boss.
Oh, brother.
So check your mouths, find your chairs, and get set for a combat drop.
What the hell am I supposed to do with this inside a Covenant ship? Wake up, Buttercup.
Relax, rookie. He don't mean nothing. Besides, now's one of those times. Pays to be the strong, silent type.
Meet the team. This is ODST Team Alpha 9. The developers really knocked it out of the park with some of these characters. Some of the characters shine way more than others, but together they're full of personality. They're a solid cast.
Nathan and Trisha, who are, really strong sci-fi actors.
What we bring to the table is a lot of experience. A lot of spacefaring, a lot of changing trajectories, a lot of slip space ruptures. We know.
This is likely in part thanks to the decision to fill the roles of the team with renowned actors from TV. Workers at Bungie were fans of a show called Firefly, so they naturally grabbed 3 of the stars and had them voice Marines in Halo 3.
Nah, man. Alpha 6, they're all gone too.
You can walk? Set your boots on the line.
Let's mount up. Get the hell out of these caves.
Let's go! Sir.
As well as key members of Alpha 9 and ODST. The crazy thing is, Nathan Fillion is a Halo fan himself. I didn't know this when researching for the video. I don't know if I was living under a rock or something, but he apparently played a lot of online Halo and has been with the franchise since CE. And now his voice and likeness are donated to Buck, the squad leader. Then there's the rest of the team. Romeo, the marksman. Mickey, the explosives expert, whose personality begins and ends at "I like to blow things up." Dutch, the heavy weapons operator. And finally, the player character, the rookie. He's a voiceless, blank slate of a protagonist who is actually, according to the lore, named John Doherty. John Doe. You can't make this up. They named a blank slate character John Doe. Glorious. Then there's Veronica Dare, Office of Naval Intelligence top brass, sent to requisition the squad for some secret Black Ops mission that's all hush-hush. She also apparently has a history with Buck. At this point in the war, humanity is losing badly. Billions killed in a genocidal campaign, with whole colony worlds melted to glass. Now, the war is brought to humanity's once safeguarded secret, Earth. Yeah, this is where everything is put on the line. The Alamo. Much of their military is destroyed or exhausted by the overwhelming might of the Covenant Empire. Their navy is left with a handful of operating ships. Alpha 9 is composed almost entirely of replacements, as very few UNSC veterans remain alive. Regardless, the Covenant assault carrier is hovering over New Mombasa, and here, we're dropping right on top of it to capture their leader and hopefully force a peace treaty in a last-ditch effort. This ODST team prepared to drop feet first into hell and what is possibly the best intro sequence in Halo history.
Latest intel. intel reports Covenant troops are massing beneath the carrier.
They're pulling back? Why?
Not gonna find out way up here.
Fuck her off, Marines! I sure as hell ain't hosing out your pod! I take it back. Navy got its butt kicked. Hey, Romeo. Remember when I told you to shut your mouth? Yeah? Consider that a standing order. Captain, 15 clicks off the deck.
Stand by to adjust trajectory. On my mark.
What'd she just say?
Mark!
We're way off course.
We're heading exactly where I need to go.
But we're gonna miss the carrier. Radiation! Covenant just set off a nuke?
No. The carrier's going to jump. It's a slip space rupture. You need to...
EMP! Losing power! Stabilize! They popped their chutes! We're going in hard!
Well, this is awkward. We napped through the whole thing. The whole battle. It came and went. Nah, I'm returning this game, man. When we finally drop out of our pod onto the streets, it's quiet. The game is quick to submerge you in this melancholy setting. The entire battle, the entire game, already happened. Just like Halo Infinite, the story happened entirely off screen. We're left to fend for ourselves as Covenant units patrol the occupied city, looking for something. We have now been introduced to a semi-open world map. The Mombasa Streets offer a variety of Covenant enemies, from gun emplacements to brute patrols, all the way up to jackal snipers situated on rooftops, which, thankfully, they've been nerfed since their iteration in Halo 2 sent controllers through screens. Nope. Oh my, you gotta be kidding me. Oh my, this is... Thankfully, they're way more balanced now. The ODSTs are now shipped out with a new night vision visor mode built into their helmets that helps them identify targets in the dark. Not just enemies, but also points of interest, as well as weapons and items. This is useful when navigating the city since it's very dark and pretty spooky. Visor itself feels like more than standard night vision. The way the highlighted glows cascade along your field of vision, almost as if highlights dig deeper and deeper into the dark stretches, is really cool. It's delicate and highly advanced. It's another high-tech piece of the ODST arsenal that gives them an edge in stealth. The cramped interior rooms of the city are bleak. They show signs of house-to-house warfare, as Marines and police officer corpses alike litter the rooms. I love the atmosphere of the Mombasa Streets. You're lost, completely alone, surrounded by enemies in a dark, scary city that's falling apart. What's not to love about that? We're not Spartans anymore, too. No more radar, no more dual wielding, and no more rechargeable energy shields. Now, we have a limited health bar. The game is quick to teach you about the new health mechanic, which involves healing from these little first aid kiosks or other health packs littering the map.
Optican, healthcare on demand.
Yeah, you hear that? New Mombasa offers free government-controlled healthcare. Damn liberals. They took our precious healthcare away. We're then instructed to interface with the city's artificial intelligence. This is the superintendent. It's the same little guy that's featured in the Keep It Clean trailer. This little teaser does a very good job portraying what Halo 3 ODST would become. The superintendent offers a ton of adorable emotes and facial expressions to indicate how it's feeling about a situation. Despite this, the superintendent is a dumb AI. Okay, I didn't mean to insult you, man. Please, just let me explain. Dumb AIs in the Halo universe are called such if they are created through conventional means, like as in coding on a computer, and not by using a scan of a human brain, such as AIs like Cortana that are extremely advanced. Shout out to Halopedia for that info. Anyway, the superintendent manages the city. The AI is constantly watching over us from a multitude of cameras across the city. It controls digital signs and screens and raises roadblocks to guide the rookie to what it suspects is their next destination. See, the superintendent isn't so dumb after all, is he? It also cleverly uses a limited speech bank to communicate vague messages to the player to help guide them around. And this is really cool. I love this little feature. If you pay attention to what the superintendent is saying in certain missions in the game, you'll note that it's actually trying to give hints and clues to the players about a fact that you wouldn't know until second playthrough.
Attention, travelers. Lost items can be claimed on lower level.
There's your pod.
It's really cool. The AI only has a few phrases it knows how to say, and they usually relate to public transport or other forms of suggestions and tips on city life. But the way it uses it, sometimes it's sarcastic too. Sometimes it's got sick burns in its bank. It's kind of impressive. I'll definitely be playing some of the moments where it starts using the phrases really creatively later in the story. And the superintendent's voice itself was done by Joe Staten. Fun fact for you right there. I think it's kind of fitting considering that Joe Staten himself was very much in charge of the development behind Halo 3 ODST. The superintendent is so iconic it has otherwise become a symbol for the game as a whole. He also gives you a nifty city map whenever you talk to him, which can be used to find anything in the city, which you will need because you will get lost. Parts of the city are mirrored images of each other, so if you don't got that map, you're going to be completely confused. Before the invasion, the superintendent, otherwise known as Virgil, was in charge of sanitation, public transportation, and more, which explains how it still has control over a lot of the parts of the city's infrastructure, despite all the battle damage that has been wreaked upon the city. Lost in the city and separated from our squad, we're left to search for clues from the battle the day before, some of which are found in inexplicably weird circumstances. Like the first clue, Veronica's Recon helmet, found split down the middle and lodged in an apartment flat screen? It leaves the player wondering, why on earth is her helmet in the screen? Is she dead? Was she up in this apartment gaming or something? Did she throw it instead of her controller when a Jackal sniper ended her lasso speedrun?
Tell us her name, Gunny?
Ms. Naval Intelligence. Our new boss. Oh, brother. So check your mouths, find your chairs, and get set for a combat drop.
After finding each clue, we take control of the various members of the squad hours earlier in their battle throughout the city. So we do, in fact, get to experience the battle that was fought off-screen. The slipspace rupture caused by the Covenant ship threw everyone off course. The ODSTs are scattered from each other. Now, they fight to reunite while the rookie is out cold in his pod.
Squad, what's your status? Are you still with me, Buck?
Yeah. Give me a sec.
I hit pretty hard. My hatch won't open. How about yours?
Works great.
Right. When you get done fooling around, I could use some help.
Did I do something wrong, because the only thing I regret about you and me, not knowing you were a spook when we first met. I would have been a lot less charming.
That's what I missed most about you, Buck. Well, your mouth was always a little faster than your brain. Look, don't start about my job. We both agreed to end it.
That was years ago, Veronica. I'm a little fuzzy on the details. Must have met a lot of other saps since then. Why pick me for the safari?
First, you're the best soldier I know, and second, I don't remember that night. What you asked me in the morning?
I remember not getting an answer.
Say again, Buck. You're breaking up.
I said stay put. I'm on my way.
We missed our LZ. This grid is packed with Covenant. Be careful.
I appreciate the concern.
Won't be much of a rescue if you're dead.
There's something glorious about this first mission. The music, as always for Halo, is peak. The air is littered with the blue glow of particles left from the ship after it recently jumped. We meet Marines along the way, as well as a mysterious find in the form of handfuls of dead elites.
Veronica, what's with all the dead elites? Looks like a family feud, like they were killed by brutes. Is there something I should know?
It's classified.
Some things never change.
Regardless, there's no time to explain. We gotta find Dare, as she's trapped in her pod surrounded by Covenant forces. With the find of these dead elites, you'll begin to understand that Halo 3 ODST actually takes place during the final act of Halo 2, when the elites and the rest of the Covenant had a huge falling out at the worst time possible for the Covenant's chances at victory. It basically split the alien empire in half, giving the humans a chance at victory. So if it takes place during Halo 2, why is the game called Halo 3 ODST instead of Halo 2 ODST? Well, put simply, it's on the same engine and has many of the same assets from Halo 3. It kind of feels like a Halo 3 expansion pack, and I think it's neat that out of all the games in the series, Halo 3, the fan favorite one, got a spin-off. I think that is honestly kind of poetic and perfect when you think about it.
I'm here. I got you. Oh, nuts. Whoa, whoa! Whoa! What the heck was that? You ever seen one before? Hey, Romeo, you got your ears on?
Oh, I get it. Permission to speak, smartass.
No, I don't know what it was. But it was gonna grease your ass good. Just like it did the captain.
Yeah, maybe. You're from Mickey, Dutch?
Negative.
The rookie. We need to get above this crap. Link with the B-net. One of our drones must have seen where they hid.
So we're popping smoke in the lady's mission? She ever tell you what she wanted?
No. Never. Doesn't matter. All I care about now is getting my men out of this city.
Even you.
After each mission set in the daytime, we return to the rain-swept Mombasa Streets. Let's talk more about the rain. Halo 3 ODST uses the rain aesthetic to build its atmosphere alongside the saxophones and night vibes. The first song Marty O'Donnell wrote for ODST was originally titled Rain. It's even on the box art. You'll see rain and just this blue aesthetic that is very solemn and fairly melancholy. And there's storm clouds that can be seen in the distance of the Mombasa streets. And there's thunder and... Wait, there's no rain in game, right? Well, let me ask you, do we actually see rainfall in the Halo 3 ODST campaign? Now, I'm not talking about the Master Chief Collection, as rainfall is in that version of the game. But was there rain in the original Xbox 360 release? Bungie mentions in one of the development videos that due to engine limitations at the time, they cut the rainfall from the Mombasa Streets, but creatively left signs of a recent rainstorm.
We wanted the hub to be dark and rainy and have that film noir feel. There was a point halfway through the production where the programmer said, we can't implement rain in the engine. Maybe we don't actually have rain falling all over the place, but we have to have the feel of that rain is in the distance.
It's raining in that environment because of the sound guys.
We also switched the surface types on the ground to kind of have that wet, slappy footstep.
But there's gameplay footage that shows a little bit here and there. I'm going to go with the fact that I think most of the rain was cut and ultimately re-added in the Mombasa Streets with the final release on Master Chief Collection. As you discover more clues, the city opens up into a non-linear, sort of open world story. Speaking of the open world, one of the most difficult parts in designing ODST's campaign was the enemy encounters in the open streets. Usually, Bungie had to account only for players coming from one direction into an encounter, but with several intersections and city blocks offering multiple directions for a player to travel, the AI encounters themselves had to be designed with the thought that players could approach them from anywhere. I'd say they succeeded in their mission. Covenant squads hold patrol patterns and will chase you a limited distance if they spot you. Some of these encounters are even pretty challenging. Hunter pairs and huge squads of brutes roam the streets. If you run into them, you better hope you got some heavy weapons. We've also been running into these strange floating aliens called engineers. They appear to be subjugated by the Covenant. They have bombs strapped to them set to detonate if they don't follow orders, or if you kill their squad leaders. Most of the time, I'm challenging myself to sneak past these patrols entirely. I'll pick off individual grunts or jackals with my suppressed magnum before weaving myself through a pack of brutes. Until they spot me, and in that case, everything hits the fan. Although the events in the flashback levels tell a linear story, the clues around the city, and the subsequent levels that play out following the clues being discovered, can be completed out of order. But I wouldn't recommend doing that. The story gets kind of confusing, and there's just no reason to play it out of order, to be honest. But there's something else to ODST's story that makes it very unique.
Okay back there?
Virgil has planted 29 audio logs throughout the Mombasa streets. Many of them are accompanied by payphones that endlessly spit out coins and ring non-stop to attract attention. These logs play an extensive story of a civilian and her experience of the Covenant invasion of New Mombasa. It's rare that we'll get a civilian perspective in a Halo game, so here, it's very welcome. But for some reason, which we will go over a little bit later, Virgil really wants the player to listen to these logs that are accompanied by blurry slideshow imagery. Fun fact about this side story. Some of the guys at 42 Entertainment, you know, the team who created the I Love Bees alternate reality marketing campaign for Halo 2, they split off from their company and contributed the writing for Sadie's story. Which means you know it's gonna be good. So we'll be coming back to Sadie's story soon, as it offers a bleak look into civilian life during the Covenant invasion. So you might be shocked that they somehow managed to fit 29 audio logs in the city. I certainly was when I found out. But some of these audio logs are hidden stupidly well. Doors that look just like the wall textures need to be opened to find some of them. I remember reaching around in the dark until a press E to open security door prompt just popped up while I was trying to figure out where this log was. It was really weird. The only reason I knew there was a log behind the wall is because I've heard these engineers through the walls. They were making these alien sounds, and I checked the map and it said there were some enemies in a courtyard. So keep an eye out for some of these security doors. As you track down these logs, you're rewarded with weapon caches. They unlock throughout the city. These weapon caches offer some serious firepower, and even sometimes mongoose ATVs, or as they are otherwise known by their plural term, mongai. Now we're talking. These little scooters make getting around the city a cinch. If you're gonna get all the logs, either snag a mongoose or hijack an enemy ghost. You'll find nothing can stop you with these things, until you run into a pair of hunters.
You're from Mickey, Dutch?
Negative.
We need to get above this crap. Link with the B-net. One of our drones must have seen where they hit.
Next clue, a flight module for a drone, which steps us into the boots of Dutch in a flashback to a wildlife reserve at the base of the space elevator. The space elevator is a structure that towers to space and transports people and things back and forth between space and the Earth's surface. To ease the player into the transition of playing as each of these characters is something the developers called a vignette, a sort of first-person view of the cutscene. I like to think of it as a bit of a link from cutscene to gameplay. These appear frequently at each mission start, and they serve to enhance the overall immersion and help the players come to know each of the characters in a greater way. These vignettes also help the game's story, one with many moving parts, transition smoothly between each perspective. And this mission is the obligatory Warthog level. Tons of vehicles and heavy weapons teams duke it out, as is expected and appreciated from Halo's wide-open linear vehicle levels. Towards the end of the mission, the space elevator is destroyed. Many of the elevator's giant structural support rings litter the Mombasa streets from here on out, including the rookies part of the story. You can see a lot of these just trash in the city and hanging from skyscrapers.
Look! The elevator! Incoming!
What the hell just happened?
Subspace rupture! Must have weakened the support rings. All units.
It's a cool subtle detail that adds to the war-torn look to the city. I also love the detail where each clue you find in the Mombasa streets makes an appearance in each of the missions. I just figured I'd shoot that out there. I remember appreciating it as a kid, seeing, oh hey, that's the clue we ran into. Every one of the clues the rookie encounters has the player wondering, what happened in the battle before that caused this object to be right here in front of me? It's interesting that you only get the answers after beating each of the missions.
Lord, I didn't train to be a pilot. Tell me I don't have any more flying to do today. So, was that a yes or a no? Amen.
The next clue is a busted up Gostert emplacement, followed by a mission we play as Mickey.
Where's the rest of your team, Trooper?
Scattered. Dead. I don't know.
That's too bad. We're gonna need all the men we can get.
The obligatory tank mission. Of course, Mickey is all over the idea of getting to drive a tank in this level because, like I mentioned, his personality begins and ends at blowing stuff up.
Son of a gun!
Wanna live? Get your ass out of the street!
Every Marine in the city is heading for a rally point near the Naval Intelligence Building. You ought to come with us.
Sure, as long as I get to drive the tank.
This time around, our tank level has 100% more buildings in the way, which is interesting. We don't usually get urban tank missions. I suppose there was that one in Halo 2, but you spend most of it crossing a bridge, so I don't know if I'd count that. At this point, the squad is mostly cut off from each other, And they're without orders, as nobody has heard from Dare since her pod was found empty. But now, a silver lining. Dutch and Mickey link up.
Sure, it's hot! Ready to fire! Relax, Marine! Wait until they're in the kill zone! Ghosts! They'll see me for sure!
And now, they just need to find Buck and Romeo.
You heard from Gunny?
No. Romeo neither.
Well, guess it's just you and me.
My vote, hold up, wait for backup.
Thank God! Does one of you know how to use explosives?
Your vote? Just got overruled.
Oh.
Now we return to the city streets, where the blazing ruins of the Oni Alpha site illuminate the night sky, where we find a bomb detonator next to the collapsed remains of the sole bridge to the site. Mickey and Dutch meet up with the local police force, the NMPD, alongside some Marines, as they attempt to evacuate the facility and destroy it so information doesn't fall into the Coveys' hands.
Breach toll accepted. Have a pleasant trip.
The team progressively falls back and gives ground to the Covenant until they retreat into the Oni Alpha site itself.
Hurry up, man! Check those charges!
Wait, what? More explosives?
Yeah, what gives? I thought we were supposed to protect this building.
I have orders to deny enemy access to all classified data housed in this facility. You don't like it, jump your butts back into orbit.
From here, we meet the flying drone enemies for the first time in ODST.
Where the heck did these buggers come from?
Underground tunnels are filled with the damn things. Finally, a good reason to blow this building up.
And it's here where the boys learn that Buck ascended to the top of the NMPD headquarters to establish radio contact with the rest of the team.
Hey, you fellas know a gunnery Sergeant Buck? Sure do. Patching him through.
Glad you boys are safe and sound.
Well, likewise, Gunny. You need a pickup?
As long as you're offering. We're in the police HQ.
Can you take us there?
Affirmative.
All right. Get you up top.
What?
This day ain't turning out so bad after all.
Whenever I ask my dad if he remembers Halo ODST, he always mentions this next clue immediately. And to me, it's probably the coolest one and the most thought-provoking clue in the entire game. The hanging sniper rifle. At the base of the NMPD tower is a sniper rifle, bent in half at the barrel, dangling from a power line. How on earth did that get there?
Can you take us there?
Affirmative.
All right. Get you up top.
Clear?
Yeah, we're good.
Hey, rookie, you out there? Respond, that's an order.
Give it up, Gunny. Even if he ain't dead, he's lost in that soup. Our comms can't cut through that.
Oh, give up, huh? What if it were you down there?
Just saying. I ain't dead.
You're a piece of work, Romeo.
Welcome aboard, ladies. First stop, anywhere but here.
Banshees, on your six! Interject!
We're losing her! Watch out!
Ah! Mickey, Dutch! Status! Alive or dead, we're pulling them out. You hear me? Make some noise. I got your back.
This is the obligatory sniper mission, which we play completely as Romeo. The wisecrack to end all wisecracks. The smartass final boss. The best dialogue is in this level, I swear.
Thanks for picking such a tall building. I'm really digging all these stairs.
Do you ever get tired of bitching, Romeo?
You ever get tired of busting my balls?
Point taken.
And finally, at long last, most of the team is reunited. Almost all of the characters who speak in this game are now talking with each other, except for Veronica Dare. Alright, I've put off talking about it long enough. Let's talk about the soundtrack. The soundtrack in ODST is an absolute masterpiece. Michael Salvatore and Marty O'Donnell never miss, as usual, especially with ODST. The tracks range from melancholy jazz and ambient piano to high-energy action themes full of glorious metal arrangements.
As the thing started taking a life of its own, in no way did I want to hear any Halo music reused. It really deserved to have its own flavor from beginning to end.
The score that Marty wrote really lent itself to both that film noir feeling and that feeling of loneliness that you have in the hub.
How do you make a difference musically from the daytime action scenes and always bring you back to the nighttime hub was a little bit of a challenge. First thing I said is no monks. There just cannot be monks in this thing. I knew I could use a solo saxophone, which has a really nice interaction with orchestral instruments. It's not something you normally hear with an orchestra. And it could really just change the whole color and feeling that sort of carry you through the hub. As the game itself got bigger and bigger, I needed more and more music, which is why I have more gray hair, so that's how that goes.
Get her!
Get this thing off of me.
How bad?
Not good.
We're gonna get you out of here. Not by air, we're not.
That's all right. I know another way.
Oh, so that's how Romeo's sniper rifle ended up in the power lines. Okay, I get it. The rookie is still out and about, heading now to the final clue. A biofoam dispenser. A medical device tossed out next to the Kikawani subway station.
We're almost there.
Put me down. Put me down for a second.
Dutch, medkit.
What's wrong with him?
He's got a punctured lung. Can't breathe. Better?
No, now what?
Trains ran underground up to the old city. We're gonna find one of the tunnels. Walk on out of here.
You're gonna carry me all the way, sweetheart?
Was planning on it, but now that you're feeling better. Get the door!
Johnny, you're gonna want to see this.
This means we're screwed, right? Not yet. Wait here. We're gonna steal that ride. It's landing. Now's our chance. Mickey, you're with me.
Hope for the city's salvation is completely dashed. The UNSC have fled. As night falls, just 1 hour before the rookie began walking the streets, Alpha 9 makes a move to escape the city, suspecting the rookie to be unreachable or even dead at this point. Buck hasn't heard from Veronica either, and as much as it pains him, he realizes that he still has to get his squad out of the city. He cares about them, and without any definite answer on what his orders even were supposed to be, thanks to Veronica's tight-lipped refusal to mention what the mission objective was, as well as him having generally no idea where she or the rookie is, he decided to get his team out of danger and escape the city. And what complicates this further is Romeo being taken out of the action completely. The squad hijacks a Covenant dropship, and Buck yoinks a Banshee. Together, they clear the way out of the city on this obligatory flight mission. The mission caps off with a final Scarab boss fight, which is the last one in a mainline Halo game. That's right, this is the last Scarab fight that expects you to destroy a Scarab in the entirety of the Halo series. And this Scarab fight is pretty forgettable. I'm gonna be honest with you, it seems kind of like they slapped it in last second. It's alright, I guess, but someone put this poor Scarab in a cage. Bro's stuck on a small island, unable to move much due to all the floodwaters overtaking the city. Actually, what were the Covenant thinking dropping this super tank here anyway, where it'd just get locked down? What purpose does it have here? It has absolutely nowhere to go and nothing to fight. Maybe one of y'all can answer this. I guess it can walk on the walls, so there's that. I don't know. Alpha 9 successfully escapes New Mombasa, but Rookie and Dare are left behind. Both are still completely unaccounted for, which doesn't sit well at all with Buck. Buck may be cynical, but there's one thing he cares about most, and it's his team.
Keep her steady, Mickey. You doing okay?
Just glad we didn't go with your first plan. Look at those tunnels. Ones that aren't flooded are probably packed with buggers. Hell, I wouldn't go down there even if you ordered me to.
Come on, Veronica. What could be more important than that carrier?
My orders. And Buck, call me Captain.
Mickey, turn around. Find a safe place to set us down.
What? Why?
I lost something. Now I know where to find her.
Can anyone hear me? This is Captain Veronica Dare. My beacon is active. Need immediate assistance. Someone, please respond.
For the first time, the rookie hears a friendly voice. Dare's calling, and everybody, including the Covenant, answers. She's deep underground, New Mombasa's subterranean data center. It stores the technology and servers that make up the backbone of the city. Dare's mission was to retrieve the data held by the Superintendent AI. It held the secret to something extremely important. Important enough to have alerted Oni. As mentioned earlier, the drones have settled a hive throughout the underground facility. So whoever or whatever was going down there was gonna have to fight through hell.
Thanks, Trooper. They almost had me. Been trying to get down to the next level checking my team, but this stack is locked down tight.
On the plunge downwards, the rookie encounters a lone police officer. The officer offers to fight along our side. He's the first friendly face the rookie has encountered. But what he's doing here is beyond our understanding. That is, unless we caught up on the audio logs. Sadie's story, the one from the 29 voice logs cooked up by Fourth Wall Studios, is... well, pull up a seat. Let's explore it in full.
Hello, traveler. Mombasa welcomes you. Anxious? Stressed? Please remain calm. Control circuits now open. With pride.
Hello, traveler. The Mombasa Transit Authority welcomes you to Kikowani Station. How may I serve?
One ticket to Old Mombasa, please. Here's my card.
To be honest with you, I had never explored the story in full on my own before making this video. I know that may sound crazy, but when I was a kid, I didn't really have any interest in civilian stories in a war game. Oh, how close-minded I was, because this one is actually really interesting. Sadie, a new Mombasa citizen, is on her way out of town. She's attempting to enlist in the UNSC in their fight against the Covenant. Her father, Dr. Daniel Ndesha, works for the city. He oversees the superintendent and has created a subroutine within the AI that looks after his daughter and keeps her safe. When she arrives at the train to go get enlisted, Virgil stops her there, but she's not having it.
Emergency stop.
Virgil, we can't stop the train. There are other people on board.
What are you doing, crazy lady? Talking to the train?
I wouldn't even be here if you hadn't kept turning all the traffic signals red.
Detour. Proceed with caution.
Whoa, wait. Train's talking back to you now? What the heck's going on?
I was just trying to get out of the city. Virgil, I am going to enlist.
Watch your speed. Children at play.
I'm 19.
Leaving. Home station.
Virgil, go to hell. Scratch that. Hell just came here.
The Covenant invade the city. Sadie does a 180. She heads for the city center to regroup with her father, who on the phone says that Virgil has found something.
The seismic survey for the new construction downtown.
Dad,
well,
there's a
Virgil found
Covenant
something
ship.
under the city. I've never seen anything like it.
Dad! Covenants are attacking the city. Do you hear what I'm saying? You've got to get out of there.
Alright. What follows is a series of events that Sadie experiences in her efforts to reach her father. First, the NMPD commissioner pulls up in his car. Officer Mike Brandley's in the driver's seat, and when Sadie boards the car, they jet towards safety.
Officer Bradley, control this crowd before they trample her into the sidewalk.
Yes, sir. NMPD, everyone back off! I said back off! Are you hurt?
No, I'll be all right.
Kensler, the police commissioner, then says to Sadie that, well, he was going to do something to her. It's an M-rated game. Figure it out. Mike takes great offense to this, because he's a decent human being, and he pulls his boss out of the car.
Officer, why are we stopping? Keep going.
Get out.
What?
You heard me.
Let go of my coat. What do you think you're doing?
My job.
The two of them speed away, and Sadie orders Mike to drop her off so she can go further into the city. He's shocked and calls her insane, as Covenant units are literally dropping in on the city. But he ultimately complies and leaves her behind after she fights him on the issue. On her way downtown, she runs into an 800-pound man who's just blocking traffic and refuses to escape the city. Instead, he's just caught up in eating and sharing kebabs from his store as he's fully accepted the coming apocalypse.
I'm in contact with an ONI officer. She thinks these Covenant are just a reconnaissance force. And I think they're looking for the same thing Virgil found in his seismic survey.
Dad, I'll call you back.
Move, you wolf! Get that table out of the road!
Calm yourself, friend. Stop unking. And have a kebab.
For the last time, move your fat ass! Hey! Get off my car!
Pure pandemonium then ensues. Traffic piles up on evacuation routes. Looting and crime skyrockets. The people begin tearing each other apart as the Covenant descends from the stars. Next, she runs into a crazed old lady with a shotgun at a casino. This old granny is out here shaking down ATM machines to go all in on black. She's so focused on the pursuit of gambling that she ignores the fact a brute patrol was on their way to her position, where they, commute her mortality a little.
Jackpot! Jackpot! Alien son of a bitch! Think I'd share any of this with you?
The brutes then open fire on Sadie when Mike rescues her by plowing through them with his car. On their journey downtown, Kinsler arrives on a Pelican dropship. He's back, and he vows to claim revenge on the two of them as the city burns down around them. He's got the two of them at gunpoint. Kinsler's move here is a testament to his character, despite the obvious risk to everyone's safety that this Covenant invasion poses. He uses the entirety of his police department's arsenal to pursue Sadie and Mike because of his lust for revenge. It's insane.
A popular uprising is inflicting heavy casualties on the invaders. We will prevail.
How are we gonna get across this bridge? It's packed!
It's so good to see you again, Sadie. But please, no sudden movements. This Pelican isn't the stablest thing to stand on. I'd hate to shoot you accidentally.
All hope seems lost until Virgil comes to the rescue by driving an Oliphant garbage truck into the Pelican, smashing it, before dumping its load on the corrupt police chief. Sadie and Mike use this window to escape aboard the truck and continue on their journey. They pick up a salesman who, for some reason, some insane reason, believes the trick to making peace with the Covenant is capitalism. Everyone calm down. Don't worry. We're saved from the alien invaders. Andrew Carnegie's on our side. We got this. Yes, for some reason he thought a religiously devout, psychopathic alien organization was going to listen to the Amazon Prime suggestions he had. It's downright lunacy. But that's what happens when you get caught up in an invasion. Or you're, John Locke. During their ride, Sadie talks with her father and Virgil. Something is off with Virgil. Her father claims that 7 strange alien creatures have begun repairing the damaged superintendent and had altered it significantly. The AI began learning new things, including whistling, similar to how the engineers speak to each other.
What's Virgil doing?
Learning to whistle.
Whistle?
So he can communicate with the tentacle aliens.
Stress harms relationships. Good communication and good medicine can help.
Despite this, Virgil still appears to be putting Sadie and her father first. Whether the AI itself is still in control, or the aliens are also friendly to humanity, isn't really known. But Daniel mentions that the aliens appear to be friendly, and is mesmerized by their behaviors. According to the Doctor, the aliens escaped, and 6 of the 7 engineers ultimately sacrificed themselves to save the 7th one from Covenant captivity. The salesman misinterprets this lone engineer's friendliness to humanity as a sign that the Covenant are willing to reason.
Tom, don't you get it? The friendly Covenant aren't the ones doing all the shooting.
To hell with demographics. This is a down market. Time to bargain if you want to make the sale. You in the tank, over here!
Who's that hedge? Get down from there!
Leave him, Sadie. I'm up and in the back room. We're out of here. That's right, up here. What say you and me make a deal, huh?
Don't rock. Don't rock.
Sadie, it's a race. Move!
Where to?
Alleyway, come on.
Clear the street. Oncoming traffic.
You don't understand!
Absolute clown. Kinsler then shuts down the superintendent remotely to get back at Sadie and lower her defenses.
Do not
Irregular pulse.
Our
Heart rate falling.
police have
Report
imposed a
to the
level
nearest
1
hospital.
communications blackout. All civilian chatter is restricted.
No!
All automated city services are
calm down.
suspended until
They
further
killed
notice.
him!
Who?
The police! They just pulled Virgil's plug!
No way. The whole city would shut down. The evacuation would grind to a halt. No one would be crazy enough to...
No one?
Oh, crap.
Yeah, he basically shut down public transportation for the entire city because of a woman that, like, this man is Psychopath of the Year award right here. Someone give him a first prize. This is fantastic work. Yeah, he cut off all of the people's public transportation escape routes. NMPD headquarters. In the downstairs lobby, a Marshal Glick is waiting for them with an assault rifle in his hands. The bodies of multiple officers lay lifeless at his feet. He takes the two of them hostage and continues gunning down his ex-coworkers.
Sorry about the mess. Since it appears we're all going straight to hell today, I figured I'd send some of my old pals on their way myself.
Listen, but we don't want any trouble.
We just need to get upstairs.
Stay right where you are. Here comes another one now.
What are you doing here? Didn't you get fired?
Remember how often I asked you not to use my half and half? And remember how often you didn't listen?
You? You did this?
Should have stayed in the elevator, Jim.
No, please.
I wrote my name right there on the cart!
Sadie, let's go.
According to this department, I have issues with anger management.
Take him down!
Cover me!
Man down! Man down! We're blocked in.
He's got us pinned in here!
Back! Get back! Stay behind the door! Bang and clear! Got him! Suspect down!
Dude would literally shoot his coworkers over them taking his lunch from the company refrigerator. This is S-tier level crash out material. Let me know in the comments, do you think this guy was justified with his reasoning? SWAT teams are deployed and they move in and take him out. Mike and Sadie take some elevators to the top of the tower where they reactivate the superintendent successfully. But Mike is pretty furious. There's a propaganda broadcast that's been playing throughout some of these audio logs. It plays from this tower, and it's blasting nothing but lies and hopeful messages to the citizens of the city as it burns down around them.
But moments ago, members of our citizen militia wiped out the sniper nest with a homemade flamethrower, made from nothing more than an old leaf blower and a can of gasoline. Keep fighting, Mombasa. Fight, and we will win.
People are dying out there, and you're feeding them this garbage? None of it is true.
Yes, well, some days, truth isn't really a luxury we can afford.
Mike storms into the room and demands they share the truth with the beleaguered defenders, rather than fill their heads with hopeful, horrible miscalculations of reality.
They're all going to die.
Maybe, maybe not. The Marines will be here soon.
They are all going to die. My job is to fill the time before they die with truth, with hope. But maybe you can do better. On the air.
A special honor, New Mombasa. I have here in studio Uprising Commander Harris Two-Shot Kibaki. Commander, tell our listeners the latest news from the city center. Commander, go ahead. Speak the truth.
Well, things aren't as good as they could be, but they're looking up. We're fighting hard.
Good to hear it. Any words of advice, Two-Shot?
Just keep fighting. We can win this battle if we stick together. We can save the city. We can win this war.
Off the air. Now you are also a hero.
This announcer argues that if they're gonna die, the people might as well hear some good news before they go out. Mike agrees to take the mic, but ultimately folds. When given the opportunity, he shares a vaguely hopeful cheer with the listeners, finding it impossible to share the disastrous news of Mombasa's imminent defeat. Kinsler hears Mike's message, and he instructs Sadie to meet him in a private train car at the train station, alone, or his corrupt cops will kill her father. Hand-forced, she reluctantly agrees. The civilians outside the train are an outraged mob. Corrupt cops line the train station with submachine guns, preventing would-be escapees from boarding and finding salvation.
Platform 9.
There's Kinsler's private train, guarded by corrupt cops with machine guns.
I'm going in. My father's life is on the line.
Be careful.
You too.
It's not fair! We all deserve to live! Now's our chance! Rush the train!
You can't just kill them.
Why not? I'm getting quite good at it. For instance, I killed your father an hour ago.
You killed my father?
My men near Virgil's data center tripped the fire response system. He suffocated and froze. Not a bad way to go, all things considered.
No sign of it yet, sir.
It's a pink, airborne octopus. How hard can it be to find?
The Covenant are coming! Listen to me if you want to live!
I've killed your father, Sadie, and now we're leaving the city. No one is coming to save you. Not Branley, not Virgil. It's the end of the line.
Are you ready to die? Do you want to live? Are you ready to fight?
That's it, Mike.
Listen to me, Virgil, or whatever you are now. Move this train out of the station, or Sadie dies. You hear me? The Covenant will kill us all!
I'm knocked out of the system. The train's not responding.
There is nothing you can do to hurt me that won't kill her!
Almost nothing. Virgil, open the doors.
What? No. No! Get back! Get back! Get away from me!
Upon boarding the car, Kinsler shares with Sadie that he already killed her dad anyway. Kinsler activated the Argon Fire Suppression Center, flooding Virgil's data center with freezing gas that ultimately claimed the doctor's life. Sadie was furious, but powerless to do anything. Kinsler shared that his men were going to capture the alien that had merged with Virgil and give it to the UNSC. The information within that engineer, as well as whatever it could gather from Virgil, would ultimately make Kinsler a war hero. His plan was about to come to fruition. This was until Mike arrived, and he began stirring the crowd into a fervor. Sadie ordered Virgil to open the train doors, and vengeance was served as the corrupt police chief was torn apart by the furious mob. This is where Sadie's story ends at log 29. The rookie and the police officer have reached sub-level 9. A frigid fog drifts across the floors. It's eerie, and with the added information from the logs, it's very grim. Normally, the NMPD officer that follows you to the bottom is killed by drones off-screen. But if you manage to collect all 29 audio logs of Sadie's story from the Mombasa streets, the police officer instead follows you to the 9th sublevel and stops outside of a room, telling you that he has to check up on something, a personnel issue, and he needs you to wait outside of this frozen room.
Trooper, hold up a sec. I gotta check on a little personnel issue.
Crime scene. Restricted entry.
Shut up, Virgil! You hear me?
Icy conditions. Chains required.
Freaking machine. The whole city's gone to hell. Wait here, watch for hostiles. I'll be back. What are you, stupid? I told you to stay outside.
If you ignore his orders and follow him into the room, you'll find the body of Dr. Daniel Ndesha from Sadie's story. The officer is here to ensure his death at the hands of Kinsler.
Step away from there. This ain't none of your business. Kinsler gave me real specific instructions. Make sure the doc's dead, and make double sure no one knows about it.
Caution, traveler, caution.
Sorry, friend. You know way too much.
Crime doesn't pay. Good citizens do their part.
This is the only human character in Halo history that we're actually expected to kill. Sadie's logs tell a story of the self-destructive, selfish nature of humanity. That when sin is committed for temporary self-gain at the cost of your morality, you face destruction, consequences for your actions. And with the horror of war brought upon the people of New Mombasa, some of the people fell to their primal desires and were then cut down for their actions, by the Covenant or even by their own. The final 30th audio log is available for listening on the wall next to the doctor. Sadie debates with Mike in this log. She wants to go back to her father, refusing to let go of his unfortunate and unnecessary demise. The invasion has fully gripped the city. There is nothing left for them in New Mombasa any longer. Mike and Virgil, who is now fully merged with the alien engineer, fight her on this issue. Her father was right. The engineer is friendly. Virgil, still unable to speak, instead plays a series of recorded voice lines taken from multiple samples across all 30 logs.
Let me go, Mike!
Emergency stop.
I am not worth your life, my brave warrior princess.
If we don't find you, who will?
Office of Naval Intelligence, your tax dollars at work.
Fallen heroes on the air.
Virgil,
I need you to live. For me.
Get on the train, you two!
Come in this way.
Hurry later!
We've got to go.
Virgil! You're all I have left of this place.
Sadie, sweetheart. You make me very, very proud.
You're all I have left of him.
Sadie, take my hand.
Okay. I'm ready.
On the board, last train, now departing. Next stop, Makuba, Nairobi Road, home station. And beyond.
This finally convinces her to follow her father's wishes and save herself, to escape the city and ultimately start a new life. The final bit, played by Virgil, is just so cute. Like, it's the part I remember the most from Sadie's story. The patchwork message to convince Sadie to leave the city, put together with some of her father's own final words, is just, it's touching. But in a way, it shows the brilliance of the writing at Fourth Wall Studios when they created this entire side narrative that did not even have to be in the game. The voice acting in these logs, as well as the writing, is so good. It's so convincing and human. At first, I thought I'd be very bored by these audio logs, as sometimes collectibles in games are pretty standard and lame, but here, whenever I'd find them, I would let them play while I was exploring the Mombasa streets looking for the next one. And whenever it ended, I was like on a cliffhanger. It was like Breaking Bad. I was like, I gotta see the next one. I gotta hear the next log. It is that well written, and I'm disappointed in myself for not really finishing these stories when I was a kid. But this story, this side narrative, is more than it seems. You might think that some of the characters' actions in Sadie's story is kind of bizarre. Kind of comical, like a comedy, like a divine comedy. Sadie's story is a parallel to Dante's Inferno. Before I go on with this, I want to say I'm not the one who figured this out. A handful of folks on the internet have talked about it already, and if you've seen my Halo Iceberg video that's as long as a school day, you'll also know this fact already. But I'm going to go way more in depth to explain the connections between the two stories now. The story of Dante's Inferno is one of surreal terror. It visualizes a man's descent into hell, guided by a Roman poet named Virgil. Hell is broken into 9 circles, some of which sound like some of the deadly sins. These include limbo, lust, gluttony, greed, wrath, heresy, violence, fraud, and treachery. Each of the events from Sadie's perspective mirrors these circles in order, starting with limbo, with the tranquil before the Covenant arrived. Lust comes when Kinsler does his demonetized attempt on Sadie. Gluttony follows with the 800-pound kebab addict who'd rather eat than escape the city. Greed is next, with the old lady who is glued to a slot machine until the Covenant killed her. Wrath comes when Kinsler returns to kill Sadie aboard a Pelican. Next is heresy, when the salesman wanted to make a deal with the Covenant and attempted to switch teams. But he wasn't the only one who tried to switch teams, as so did the alien engineer that was tampering with Virgil when it fled the Covenant. Violence. This circle is represented by the crazed cop who went postal on his coworkers with a rifle. Next is fraud, seen in the story with the propaganda radio broadcasting lies 24/7. Finally, the 9th circle is treason. Kinsler betrays and murders his fellow man by killing Sadie's father, turning the data center into a frozen ice hellhole. The final circle in Dante's Inferno is a frozen lake where all the damned souls convicted of betrayal are concealed within, stuck in eternal suffering forever. Frozen lake, frozen data center. And what sub-level number is the frozen data center on? That's right, it's sub-level 9. It's all connected. Halo is no stranger to biblical and religious references, but this has got to be one of the most creative, in-depth references in the entire series. And it's more than just a reference, it's a straight-up allegory. Once more, each of the sinful side characters that are encountered by Sadie and Mike suffers their just deserts. They are all welcomed into hell for their selfish transgressions. And speaking of hell, what do ODSTs do? They're called Helljumpers for a reason. They dive feet first into hell, all 9 circles of it. Oh man, there's a few other connections that I didn't mention because they're more minor and some of them are a bit more theory-based, but much of this game is so... it's just perfect. Like for a spin-off, this has a surprising amount of depth, way more than many of the Halo games of both the modern and the Bungie era. This little spin-off impresses me. It's extraordinary how they pulled off so much of a story within such a limited time span of around 10 to 14 months of development.
It's you. I thought... Never mind. What was your name again? Inside, now!
This way, and stay quiet.
Some idiots blew the building at the top of the shaft. Woke the whole hive. Down there? That's the superintendent. The AI that runs every system in the city. My mission... our mission... is to secure the superintendent's data.
Problem is, there's only one way in from here. Right through the hive. It would have been suicide to go alone, and I was hoping for more backup. But I guess you're it.
You've been solo since we dropped. Fighting on the surface? Unless you spent all night hiding in your pod, you must know your stuff. Show me.
Finally, the rookie runs into Veronica, and the two of them fight their way through the data hive to find Virgil.
We've seen them before on other ops, but we've never gotten this close. Best we can tell, they're prisoners or slaves. Either way, they don't like the Covenant any more than we do. The slipspace event fried most of the superintendent's circuits. And I thought it might be trying to finish the job. But now I see you weren't trying to hurt the superintendent. You were trying to fix it. Oni calls them engineers. Believes they're some sort of biological supercomputers. If I'm right, this one has taken the superintendent's data and combined it with its own. Everything we want to know about the Covenant, what they're looking for into the city, is right in here. Damn! Buggers must have raised the alarm. Buck!
Veronica? Where the hell are you?
Data center, but we're coming out.
We?
No time to explain, but do not, I repeat, do not shoot anything pink. Those brutes are here for the engineer. They'll kill it if they get the chance. You. Stay behind me. Okay?
So what are the engineers? They were originally an alien race that was conceptualized in the development of Halo 1. These floating alien squid creatures would finally enter the Halo franchise in Halo Wars. In the game, the engineers are used as healing units, but in Halo 3 ODST and the rest of the Halo universe, they're mostly used for data harvesting and interacting with computers and other machines. These creatures are sort of like organic supercomputers, and the one featured in game has fully interconnected with Virgil and has total control of the city, much like Virgil does. So for that reason, considering Virgil is now basically the alien himself, we're going to be calling the engineer Virgil as well. Because the Covenant subjugate and enslave these poor engineers, Virgil is quick to betray his kind and join the humans in their effort against the Covenant. And he'd been doing it the entire game. Much like Virgil from Dante's Inferno, Halo 3 ODST's Virgil both guided and escorted Sadie, as well as our player character, the Rookie, through all of the gates of hell that Mombasa had to offer. Through its control of the city, it successfully linked up Veronica and the Rookie to its location to save it from the Covenant, who were trying to take it back. Considering it lifted all of the Superintendent's data, it also was aware of the scans the Superintendent had made that found some mysterious object under New Mombasa, the same thing the Covenant had been looking for days. That object is a massive portal to the Ark. If you haven't played Halo 3, the Ark is a giant object in space. It's like a giant sort of world of its own that was artificially created by the Forerunners that could remotely detonate all of the Halo rings at once, which would basically annihilate all life in the galaxy. So humanity absolutely needed to get this information from Virgil so they could find out what the Covenant was up to ultimately stop them from ending the galaxy as everyone knew it.
Lord, that thing stinks. Kind of reminds me of like... What was that for?
Abandoning the mission.
What mission? You dropped off the grid. My squad was scattered. And that?
For coming back. Thank you.
You did good, Rookie. No doubt. We're not out of this yet. Captain, how about you hang back? Let us clear a path.
Agreed. I'll stay with the asset, give it close cover.
Interestingly enough, both Fillion and the voice actress for Veronica shared a recording booth in their scenes together. And a little fun fact for you, this is actually pretty rare in the video game industry, at least for 2009. I'm not sure if they do it more now, but back then it was relatively unheard of.
When did this happen?
They started showing up right before I went underground.
And you waited until now to tell me that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was a little busy making sure Perfume over here didn't take around and blow us all up.
Eddie Buck. Always thinking with his gun. You haven't changed one bit.
Me? What about you? Oh, so full of big Oni secrets. Couldn't even give a guy a yes or no answer.
That's not fair.
Oh, you got that right.
I never thought I'd see you again.
Yeah? Well, here I am.
We need to move, now. Were you too busy to plan our exit?
I stole a Phantom, yes, thank you. I hid it in the shipyards down the highway. But I only have room for 2, so that thing's gonna have to sit on your lap.
The engineer. Where did it go? Keep me covered. keep up.
Take my advice, rookie. You ever fall for a woman? Make sure she's got balls.
This mission, Coastal Highway, is kind of like a final banger. Goss warthogs, Scorpion tanks, a huge race down a beachfront highway. Alpha 9 is all that remains in town, and now it's time to make a final stand and get out of it. At long last, the rest of the team arrives on the stolen Phantom, and everyone goes home. Halo 3 Recon was originally supposed to be a short expansion pack. Instead, this full game ultimately sold 2.5 million copies in its first week, making a successful launch that the team surely held a toast to. But why is this game so legendary amongst the fans? Despite how high quality this game is, it only really seems to be remembered by Halo fans. Strangely, it's gone kind of unknown by the broader gaming audience. Most of them have forgotten about it. They usually, when they think of Halo, they think of Halo 3, 2, maybe 1 in Reach, but not Halo 3 ODST. It is certainly the black sheep of the Halo franchise.
Come on! Damn it! Move!
Oh, nuts. What can I say? Was a hell of a night.
ODST's campaign is really high quality. The writing is solid, and Halo isn't renowned for having masterclass writing. And I mean, generally the stories in Halo aren't that deep. Halo has never been this literary masterpiece. It's a game where you shoot aliens. But ODST, very shockingly, lets you shoot aliens, but also shares two really good human stories with its audience. Both are very believable. And I believe that's in part due to the writing as well as the absolutely amazing performances done by the various voice actor roles in the game. Despite being less notable than other games in the franchise, Halo 3 ODST still had a very lasting impact on the game's community. Halo 3 ODST spawned a decade-long mystery. The engineers around New Mombasa left behind mysterious glyphs to guide the rookie along. What makes these glyphs kind of cool is they're only visible in the visor mode, kind of like invisible ink. And players, for years, attempted to solve what they thought was a hidden puzzle embedded within these mysterious symbols. Turns out, Marty O'Donnell confirmed that the puzzle that had existed for years and mystified players was a big nothing burger. It's a bit of a legendary mystery in the community. And speaking of legends, ODST spawned perhaps the most iconic piece of armor in the Halo community, the Halo 3 Recon armor set. Dare wore the Recon helmet in game, and it was just this mythical suit of armor that every fan was chasing after.
What is it? My plan to get Recon armor from Bungie.
To unlock it, you needed to complete 7 difficult Vidmaster challenges across both Halo 3 and ODST. Not to mention ODST shipped with loads of Easter eggs, as is standard in Halo games. While much of the broader gaming audience doesn't really think about ODST, the fans love this game. But aside from its mysteries and really good quality campaign, why is it the fans love this game so much? What at the game's core has left such a lasting impact on Halo fans? What has people jumping into Helldivers pretending to be ODSTs and always reminiscing back to when they dropped into New Mombasa? What about this game is so awesome? The biggest part of this game has got to be the art design, between the atmosphere, music, and scenery, which are all dressed to the nines. But so are our new protagonists. The advanced ODST suits each of the characters wear look so clean. Each of the members have alterations on their suits too that match their personality as well as their job role. The way their visors wipe up and down, Nah, it's sweet, man. The Suppressed Magnum is so awesome. It's perhaps one of the coolest guns to be added to the series, and so is the Silenced SMG. There is no battle rifle in the entirety of ODST. It has been entirely replaced with this new gun. The Suppressed SMG has the most aura in all of Halo's arsenals. Just look at it, man. The hollow sight, that big long can on the end. This thing is awesome. Sure, it's a pea shooter and is borderline useless for stealth because you can't kill anything with less than half a magazine, but wow, dude, just look at it. The story mode also has a little bit of everything. Plenty of infantry combat with an emphasis on stealth, which makes a lot of the engagements that much more interesting. There is a plethora of vehicle levels that allow you to drive around tanks, warthogs, and even banshees. ODST's campaign feels a lot like a sandbox thanks to all the stuff it throws at the player. But what confounds me to this day is that we've only received one first-person shooter spin-off Halo. Why? The universe is so huge and Microsoft has so much money and so much power, it is mind-blowing that we haven't gotten a Marine flood horror story or some Covenant campaign, or maybe we could go back in time to the human civil war. We could fight as an insurrectionist, or maybe even be one of the first Spartans. Halo spawned this universe along with a huge fan base out of pretty much nothing, and we've only gotten one first-person shooter spin-off? Oh man, talk about missed opportunities.
Welcome to New Mombasa. Bam! This is Firefight, and we need every able body we can get, even yours. You boys can thank me later. Right now I got selling to do.
Halo 3 ODST also offered something new, a new mode, as well as some limited character customization. You could select any of the character models from throughout ODST's campaign and switch up your colors and emblem. And with your custom ODSTs, you and 3 of your friends could enter Firefight. This was Halo's shiny new Horde mode. It has since become a staple in the franchise. Most fans don't accept a Halo game as complete until some variation of Firefight is within the game. How this mode works is simple. You and your friends hold out against increasingly difficult waves of Covenant enemies. The mode offered a small handful of maps. You could play on 8 vibrant maps reused from the campaign mode. But in truth, I should really say 1 map, because ain't nobody gonna play on any map outside of Lost Platoon. It's the only level with a warthog on it. Why would anyone pick anything else? Now we enter the modern era, where the Master Chief Collection re-released ODST with a new coat of paint, and the developers on the MCC team have even managed to improve Firefight entirely. Now you can add elites, and even give them some human weapons if you'd want. Throw in the Flood, which is my personal favorite addition. Flood Fight is awesome. You even get sent along with some Marines or NMPD police officers, and you get to have them fight by your side. And the best part of Flood Fight is that your allies, as well as you and your friends playing, your bodies can be infected by the Flood, and you'll have to fight your own selves. It is such an awesome addition to the mode. It revived Firefight completely and gave it much needed variety because, to be honest with you, ODST's vanilla Firefight was a little bit limited. You can also change the Warthog to a tank or even a Hornet, which means there's even less of a reason to play on any map aside from Lost Platoon. At release, ODST also got a port of Halo 3's old theater mode where you could watch match replays and take screenshots, and that was your complete ODST package. Despite the positive reception at launch, quite a few criticized this game. Not for the quality, but in fact the quantity it offered. It shipped as a full-priced game. $60 whole. Man, what I would give to go back in time from this AI-generated hellscape just to see games cost $60 again. Many thought this was overpriced for a campaign mode as well as a firefight mode, and they're pretty justified to think this. I mean, that's not a lot of content on display for $60. Bungie justified this price tag by instead including every copy of ODST with a second disc, the Halo 3 Mythic disc. Basically, It just offered the entirety of Halo 3's multiplayer, Forge, and custom games mode on a single disc, including all the bonus map packs, for free. Good deal, I suppose. As a kid, I remember being excited to see what Forge mode would be included in ODST. I was also looking forward to the PvP modes. I thought that there would be a mode where perhaps you and your friends would drop from drop pods and fight each other, or anything very interesting like that, something new to spice up Halo's multiplayer. What I did not expect was it just to be Halo 3 again. Regardless, reception for ODST has sweetened in recent years. It's largely positive now. I think part of this could be due to nostalgia poisoning, but on the same token, this game is really good. Looking back, it's not just nostalgia. The storytelling and level design is stellar. There's one more thing I want to mention about ODST. In a universe full of sci-fi super soldiers, it's a breath of fresh air to play as one of the normal troopers in the game. To me, a hero's struggle is only as great as their opposition is. A weaker, flawed character usually makes for a far more interesting and better war story. This is the most engaging part of the human side of Halo's narrative. The humble, very vulnerable ODSTs, soldiers, and civilians who fight against insurmountable odds against an evil empire. This has always been so much more interesting to me than the story of the Spartans. This is along the same lines of why even Halo Reach's story is so beloved, despite focusing almost entirely on a Spartan team. The game is a straight up tearjerker, and from the first moments, we know how this story was gonna end. And the game is not slow to show you how weak you and your comrades are, and how powerless you are to save the planet as it melts down around you. This is, in my opinion, the best Spartan story in the entire Halo universe, because the characters are fallible, they're vulnerable, they're almost just like us, despite being chemically engineered super soldiers. This is perhaps the most iconic last stand story in video games. It's like the video game equivalent of the Alamo. Everyone remembers this game and its pretty emotional story, and they love it, man. Halo Reach is iconic. While you're here, make sure to watch my Halo Reach video if you haven't yet. We as humans love the story of the underdog. Our culture has written the names of freedom fighters into our street signs, and we've even printed some of their faces on our shirts and on our currencies. These are heroes we can somewhat relate to. They're not perfect. They are far from invincible, and that's why their stories are so much more fascinating to us. It shows someone who, like us, is relatively weak on their own, but their courage makes up for it, and they fight on despite the insurmountable odds. While we may never get an ODST story again, its legacy moves on to other franchises. This is why we love ODST. It offers a relatable human element with a cast of lovable characters plunging feet first into hell, fighting onto the last man, as, for all Alpha 9 knows, they won't have an Earth to fight for in a few weeks.
Easy does it.
We went through hell for that?
Give him some meds, would you? It's important. It knows things.
Heck, honey. I wasn't talking about the alien.
Mickey, I'm sending you a very special co-pilot.
Oh, come on! I don't want one of those things in here.
It won't bite, and unlike you, it knows what to tell those cruisers to keep them off our tail.
I think they're too busy to care. Looks like they found what they're looking for.
What about you? What about us?
Win this war? Then ask me that again.
Thanks again to War Thunder for sponsoring the video. Play for free on PC, consoles, and mobile devices. New players and those who haven't played in 6 months should hit up the links in the description or my pinned comment to get yourself a free bonus pack full of vehicles, premium time, and more. What do you like most about ODST? Let me know in the comments below.
You know the music. Time to dance.
Make sure you like the video, subscribe, hit me up on Patreon if you'd love to support the channel. It would be much appreciated. And check out the Discord. In the meantime, thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, I'll be seeing you guys on the next one.
Undertale. That is a great game. It took me forever to beat Sans.